Nation, what is up? We're back with another video, and this video I'll be covering all the new DC comics that came out this past week, the week of November 16th. So yeah, let's get into it. The first comic I'm going to talk about is Batman number 117, Fear State's Finale. Yeah, guys, Fear State Finale, written by James Tynion IV, arts by Jorge Jimenez. Now, you already know the artwork in this book is phenomenal. Jorge Jimenez continues to do a great job. He makes images that just look like standout posters. They look that good. And his artwork is very dynamic. It keeps the story better than it actually is. Like, you could give Jorge Jimenez a crappy story and he can make it at least readable, right? Like, you could skip all the dialogue in this issue, just look at the images, and it'd be worth the price. Like, I would actually say that. Like, the art is that good. Now, for the story by James Tynion IV, it's not bad, alright? This entire storyline, Fear States, has been a slog to read. It started out with a great idea, the idea of Scarecrow putting fear in Gotham, and you have Peacekeeper 01, who was funded by the magistrates. He was supposed to be the new savior for Gotham, but then Scarecrow manipulated him and actually controlled him, made Peacekeeper 01, Sean Mahoney, crazy. And Sean went on to accidentally kill civilians, the same civilians he's trying to protect. It led to Batman gathering the entire Bat family to fight off against Scarecrow and the magistrates. Now, that's a great idea, but the story just got drawn out. There's no plot progression, and honestly, the last issue number 116, was the first issue that we started to see plot progression. And now we're at the finale, and everything wraps up so quickly. Like, finally stuff was happening, and then James Tynion IV is just like, alright, wrap it up. This is my final issue in the series. And I don't really like that. Like, in the beginning of the issue, we see Batgirl, Nightwing, and the rest of the Bat family. They make it into the base in the sky, and they take down Simon Saint with ease, like that. It's that quickly. And I know there's a tie-in in Nightwing number 86 that I'm going to talk about in a sec that kind of fills that in, but it still feels rushed. Like, the magistrate gets taken down so easily, and there's nothing that sticks around. It makes this whole trip into the magistrate, this whole story about them, feel like a waste. Now, what other things we go into is like Poison Ivy. We see Harley, she shows up to Eden, and she gets Instant Ivy and Queen Ivy to combine. Which, that was a nice scene. I like that. But immediately afterward, Poison Ivy is like, alright, I gotta wrap up this story too. So she puts her vines into Gotham and takes all the fear away, and every civilian in Gotham are good again. Like, they're just like, alright, I don't fear anything, I'm good. And the whole idea of a Gotham City, a whole city just in fear, is immediately gone. Like, it feels so rushed. Now, Ghostmaker, he's not even in this issue at all. Now, I haven't been a big fan of his character, but for a final issue for James Tynion IV's Batman run, you would think you include one of his best characters. Yes, I think Ghostmaker is one of the best characters he's added. Now, is Ghostmaker an amazing character? No, but he's better than Punchline, the Gardener. The Gardener is such a weak character, and I didn't even bother to read her one-shot that came out this past week because I just don't care about her. She just feels like another Poison Ivy, but the only difference, this version, the Gardener, doesn't have a cool background. She's just so generic. Now, moving away from Poison Ivy, Harley, and Simon Saint, we do get a cool action sequence between Batman and Peacekeeper 01. We get a full-out brawl, and it is dope, guys. The artwork by Jorge Jimenez really shines here, and I like it. Like, it got the pace up for me. It got me more into the comic. Now, Peacekeeper 1 gets defeated easily, but then we see Miracle Molly. She takes out Scarecrow. Like, Scarecrow is already down, but she officially knocks him out, and then she finds out a way to stop the trauma machine, but now she's gonna use it for her own benefit. Her whole view is that, okay, if I use this mind machine to wipe everyone's memories, then maybe Gotham can start anew. You can start from scratch. This city could be something more than just a war zone. And I kind of like that idea. I actually liked it. But then Batman comes in, he's like, no, you have to embrace change. And he shows her what's going on. The whole fear stays over. Mayor Nakano is accepting the fact that he did wrong. Like, he knows all this. He didn't stop the magistrates, and he admits it's wrong, and he's gonna do better. So basically, Batman is telling Miracle Molly, hey, don't wipe everyone's memories. Just let them change. Let Gotham change on its own. And we get this great moment between Miracle Molly and Batman that I was surprised by how good it was. It was the first moment in this entire Batman event that actually had an emotional core to it. And it felt good. Like, it was good writing. It felt natural, and it ended the issue off on a good note. Now, it did, yes, it ended the issue off on a good note, but also abrupt notes as well. Like, some things got wrapped up with ease. Actually, everything in this issue got wrapped up in a rushed manner, but there's still some things that need to be wrapped up. Now, they have announced like a one-shot, Fear State Omega, I think, and that's supposed to wrap it all up, like do the final touches. But here, for this final issue, say you're just reading the Batman series, you would feel like you missed some things. But still, I like the ending of Batman and Miracle Molly, and I'm just glad that James Tynion IV is off this title, because he started out great. Their dark designs, that opening story arc, was really cool, and then we went into the Joker War. I was hyped, I was down for it. And then it disappointed me with a very ending. Then we went to the Ghostmaker story arc, that sucked. Then we had the Cowardly Lots, which that was alright, and now we have Fear States. And overall, this entire Batman run is just gonna be forgettable. There's nothing memorable about it. Like, yeah, you have a couple cool moments, then you got Joker, Scarecrow in the run, but nothing really big happens. Honestly, the best thing about this Batman run is the artwork by Jorge Jimenez. That's why I stuck around. Like, his artwork is just that good. And the story, I wished it was better. Like, if you had an amazing story with this phenomenal artwork, you could have had something special. But overall, it wasn't special at all. It's just kind of Like, it wasn't a terrible run, but it wasn't great either. Now, I do want to know on something that I did like in this final issue number 117. There's one moment where you see the entire Bat family, they're looking up, and they see the bat signal in the sky. The bat signal is back. And it's illustrated well, and I just like the moment. Like, it was kind of shoehorned in there. It's just kind of like, oh, here's a big Bat family moment, but I enjoyed it. I always like seeing the Bat family gathered together, looking up at the signal. That's just an awesome moment. But yeah, guys, this issue, Batman and 117, if you made it this far in James Tynion's Batman run, then finish it. Like, finish it off. But if you've not been reading it, don't jump on board. Like, wait for next issue, Batman in 118, which will be written by Joshua Williamson. I'm pretty sure that run is gonna be awesome. Stay tuned for that. Now, next up, guys, we got Nightwing number 86. This is the conclusion to Tom Taylor's tie-in to Fear States. We see Nightwing and the Bat family make an assault on the sky base, and they take down Simon Saint, and you see him going after the seer. You see some more background on the seer, and the best thing about this issue is the interactions between the Bat family. Like, I like seeing Nightwing and Batgirl interacting. You got Tim Drake there. You got Cassandra Cain. Like, it's awesome. Me being a fan of the Bat family, it was nice just seeing an issue of them having fun, taking down crime, going on a mission that is kind of ridiculous, but it's also awesome. Like, I like the issue a lot. And one thing I really liked is the artwork by Robbie Rodriguez. Robbie Rodriguez, he nails it. He knocks it out of the park in this issue. His artwork is very stylized. It fits the tone, and I really like it. So yeah, guys, if you've been liking this tie-in story by Tom Taylor, I highly recommend this issue. And yeah, I'm really excited for next issue of Nightwing. Nightwing number 87, that's gonna be the issue where all the pages, if you put them together, could be like a full-on sequential story. Like, that's gonna be cool. No panels, just all double page spreads. Guys, how hyped are you for that issue? If I would rate myself from 1 to 10, how hyped I'm for that issue, I would put it like a 9. Like, I've been seeing promotional artwork for that issue, and I'm excited. Tom Taylor has been killing it on Nightwing. He's been doing such a good job, and I'm excited to see his story unfold for the rest of his run. Next up, we got Justice League number 69, and this issue, it's alright. Like, the main story, I don't like. Like, I've not been enjoying Bendis' run at all. Like, it's been very boring, all over the place. The dialogue's not been that good. Like, in this issue, we see some fake Deathstrokes. We see a moment with, like, the Royal Flush Gang, which I did like that. But other than that, we don't get that much, like, plot progression. Like, we see Checkmate, some tie-in into that, and it's just kind of Like, I did not care for it. I was not invested. I was kind of out of the story. Like, it was a slog to read. And the only time that I actually kind of got interested was the end of the issue, when we see that the Fortress of Solitude has been stolen. Someone's taken the Fortress of Solitude, and I think that could be an interesting story. But at the same time, Bendis has proven every time he has a cool idea, he drags it out and makes it super not cool. Like, he makes it very boring, not interesting, and he gives dialogue to certain characters that doesn't fit their character. As for the artwork in this issue, it's alright. It's like, sometimes it looks awesome. Like, there's a double page spread that looked phenomenal. I really liked it. It shows how intimidating the Justice League can be, so that was cool. But other times, the artwork looks very rushed and not that good, so it's kind of hit or miss. Now guys, that's the main story. If you've been enjoying the Bendis run, then you'll like this. But if you're like me and you want an epic Justice League story, or just a story that isn't boring, well, I don't recommend this one. Now, it's the backup story by Ram V and art by Zermanico. This is the Justice League Dark backup story, and it is awesome. Guys, Justice League Dark, they deserve their own book again. I don't know why they're a backup in this title. Like, I don't get it. Why do you give us only 10 pages a month when you could give us a full issue and it would actually make the story better? Like, I feel like the story is gonna read so good in trade because it'll actually flow. It won't be like, alright, something's happening, it's getting hyped, so I'm really invested in the story, and it's over. Like, the backup story reads so fast, and that's not against the writing. I know sometimes writers, they make a quick-paced issue, a very fast-paced issue, and you don't get that much out of it. But here, Ram V, he's trying his best, but all he has is 10 pages. And guys, there's actually some cool stuff that happens in these pages. we see epic team up between Etrigan and Ragman, and there's a really cool moment. We see the return of the Upside Down Man, who's controlling Zatanna. That was really cool. That got me hyped the last issue, but here it's shown at like full scale. Like, it's really awesome. Also, what we see is Aquaman, Dr. Fates, and the Eternal Knights. They go to attack Merlin. And he's almost done with his plan. He's been tricking everyone. And just seeing Aquaman show up in like cool fashion, like he comes riding in, and at that moment I was like, that is cool. Like, Aquaman deserves these epic moments that are written so well by Ram V. But at the end of the issue, we finally find out what Merlin has been working toward, what his big plan is. And he carries out that plan. He releases Arion, the sorcerer, who was actually a person from Atlantis' past history. He's actually a really cool character. And to see him here and to be the Sapphire Knights for Merlin, that is such a cool cliffhanger. Like, it gets me hyped for next issue. The Justly Dark don't only have to deal with an Upside Down Man controlled Zatanna, but now Merlin and all-powerful sorcerer Arion. Like, guys, this story keeps getting more epic, and DC really needs to give Justice League Dark its own title. Do you guys agree? Tell me down below. Should they keep Justice League Dark as a backup title, or should it get its own book again? Like, I think it should. And I know there's like a one-shot coming up that's gonna like conclude the story, which I am excited for, but I hope the story continues. Like, better not we have that one shot, it wraps everything up, and then we get nothing from Ram V on Justice League Dark for a while. Like, I think Ram V does such a great job with his team, and I hope he continues to write stories on them. Now guys, next up we got Suicide Squad number 9. This issue is phenomenal. This entire series has been really good. It's been consistent. It's not been like, oh, good issue, bad issue, good issue. No. All the issues in the series up to this one, issue number 9, have been great. And this issue is no different. In this issue, we see the Suicide Squad. They go to space. They go to Oa. They make it into like this lake. They fight off against like an octopus that is super powerful. Like, the Suicide Squad have their hands full. And that's when we see Far Sector, Green Lantern. She shows up. She's there to arrest them. And we get a lot of action, good suspense, and how the issue ends with the Thanagarians showing up, and we see a huge explosion like the Suicide Squad just died. Like, that is good. Like, it's a good cliffhanger, and I'm excited to see where the story goes. Now, aside from the Suicide Squad's mission, we have Waller, who's dealing with the problem of Rick Flag. She's trying to stop him. We see Rick Flag, he's forming his team. He got Cheetah, he now has this one guy named the Fisherman who looks horrific, like he looks creepy. He also has Mirror Master and Talon. Speaking of Talon, Talon finally reveals to Culebra that he can actually talk. He's not crazy. He doesn't just say, who? Like, he always says who, but now he finally says a couple words. And Culebra is shocked, but now she's gonna join Talon in helping out Rick Flag. So we got a Rick Flag Suicide Squad going after a Waller Suicide Squad. Two teams that are going to converge eventually, and I'm hyped. Like, this story is well-paced, good action, good suspense, characters can die at any moment, and that's how a Suicide Squad comic should be. Also, we have Ambush Bug in this issue. He's hilarious. Like, he keeps the pace going well just by his humor. Whenever the story's getting kinda like not as like high stakes, or I'm not as interested, Ambush Bug comes in, he says a funny line, and I'm back in the story. Also, we see Match, yeah, the Superboy that's basically a Bizarro version. His interactions with Nocturna I really like. Their relationship has developed so well throughout the series, and if they become like a couple or they're together in like the next issue, I'd be down for that. Like, I like it. So yeah, guys, this is another good issue for the Suicide Squad series. If you've been reading it, I highly recommend you pick this one up. Next up, we got Blue and Gold, number 4, and this is another fun issue. We get some callbacks to the Justice League International, and we actually get like a whole scene where Guy Gardner shows up. I really like his inclusion. We get a lot of great interactions between Booster Gold and Blue Beetle in the past and the present, and yeah, it's just overall good issue. It's fun. Good artwork, is a good pace, it keeps you invested, and the end of the issue gets me interested for next issue. Like the one princess warrior, the warrior princess that's been trying to go after Booster Gold and Blue Beetle, she's finally showing up. So yeah, guys, you've been enjoying this series, and you like how much of bros Booster Gold and Blue Beetle are, how they interact, and how they just chill. They just be telling superhero stories and having a fun time. Like, you just want a fun comic book, then I highly recommend this. Now guys, the last new comic book for the week is Aquaman The Becoming, number 3. In this issue, we see Jackson Hyde on the run. He's on the run, he's going away, and Mara, she's covering for him back in Atlantis. And we see him go to Titan's Tower. We also see him go to Challenger's Mountain. Also, Happy Harbor, the headquarters for Young Justice. He shows up at all these places, but eventually the Atlantean soldiers, they catch up and they try to kill him, and each instance he gets away. But at the end of the issue, we see the villain who's been hunting him down finally meet up with him. This villain, we have a big action fight between them, the villain and Jackson Hyde. And it's actually a really good fight. Like, it's a good sequence, it has good panel layouts, and I enjoyed it a lot. But then we see Lucia, I think it's Lucia or Lucia, the mother of Jackson Hyde. She shows up. Then we get that reveal that the villain who's in the armor that's been hunting down Jackson Hyde is his sister. The sister that I never knew about. And it's a really cool twist that ends the issue off on a great moment. I'm excited to see where this story goes. To discover that Jackson Hyde has a sister, like, I never expected that. I did not expect that at all. I didn't expect this series to go into that, the family history of Jackson Hyde. I thought it would just be him on the run, him trying to prove himself while Aquaman is off-world. Yeah, that was how the series started, but now it's going to something deeper and something I'm way more interested in. So yeah, guys, if you've been enjoying this Aquaman The Becoming series, I highly recommend you check out this issue. Now guys, that's all the new DC Comics that came out this past week, but we're not wrapping up the video yet. It's time for a back haul pull. The back haul pull for this week is to be Batman Year 1. Written by Frank Miller, arts by David Mazzucchelli. Guys, this is the origin of Batman, and it is amazing. Like, this story is so cool. The art by David Mazzucchelli fits its own, and it's very unique. Like, I really like David Mazzucchelli's artwork, and Jorge Fornes, who did some of the artwork in Tom King's Batman, actually reminds me of this artwork. But in this comic, you see the origin of Batman. You see Catwoman, she's involved. You see Commissioner Gordon, how he's dealing with things, his whole love life actually, how he's screwing up his family, and just going down a dark path that he's trying to get off. Like, there's one image in this book where Gordon is just sitting on the edge of his bed, and he can't tell his wife what he did. He did something wrong. And it's a very, not a dark moment, but it hits you. It hit me. When I first read it, I'm like, wow. And And Frank Miller, yes, he writes a lot of narration for Batman, but he still lets David Mazzucchelli show his artwork, and I really appreciate that. But yeah, guys, if you want a good origin for Batman that really delves into the character and a story that actually really delves into Commissioner Gordon as the character, then I highly recommend this comic. And with the upcoming The Batman movie coming out, directed by Matt Reeves, and Batman being played by Robert Pattinson, that movie is actually taking some inspiration from this comic. So, if you haven't read this comic, guys, I highly recommend you pick it up, get it at your local comic book shop, so when you go see the Batman film, you can see what they take from this comic and what they change. But yeah, guys, that's gonna be your back haul pull for this week, and that's actually gonna close out this video. Tell me your thoughts on all the new DC comics that came out this past week. What did you think about the finale to Fear States? And what are your thoughts on Batman Year 1? If you guys like the video, give a big thumbs up. New channel, make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell so you don't miss out on my next DC Comics video. I do reviews, reaction, and news. I keep you up to date on everything DC going on right now. But yeah, guys, that's gonna wrap up the video. Thanks for watching, and peace out.